It's time to wrap up my series Squarespace for the
All right, everybody. Welcome to third round coverage of the 2025 Genesis Invitational to be played at Riviera Country Club. And this is the third round. There was no first or second round because there was no cut. 72 golfers appeared at Riviera. They actually did have a cut in real world to get it down to 53. I think it was 53 or 54 players that actually made the cut. But History Maker Golf wants you to have at least 70. So I've got 72. And so I figured there's no sense doing a cut for two people. So that's what we're going to go with. Good evening, Ben. Ludwig Oberg was the winner real world of this tournament. So he has been prominently displayed. Since there's 72 golfers, we're going to have 8 stacks of 10. I'm sorry, 6 stacks of 10. Is that right? 6 stacks of 10? No, 8 stacks. Let me get this right here. 72. We need stacks of 7. My bad. So we need 8 stacks of 7, and then the last 2 stacks will have 8 in it. I'll get it right eventually. All right. So Ludwig Oberg is on top here, but we're going to go ahead and give it a good shuffle. So we don't know where he is going to end up. Last week's tournament, Thomas Dietrich, the winner in real world, did not make the cut in the Waste Management Open. So we'll see if how well Oberg does here, whether he is in contention or falls back to like a C- or something like that. So 72 golfers. We need 7. Was it 7 stacks? 8 stacks because there are no outstanding golfers. So we need 8 stacks. So actually, it's going to work out fine. 9 golfers apiece now to think about it. 8 times 9. Get my math tables down right. So 9. We're going to have 8 stacks of 9. 1, 2, and I'm OCD, so I don't want to eyeball it. I'm actually going to count it out. That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we got our 9 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Beautiful. Worked out perfectly. 8 stacks of 9 golfers each. Now, in the last couple of oh, cool. I hope you can make it, Ben. I wish, of course, they're not coming anywhere. They have to, I mean, the closest they probably ever come here would be Washington, D.C., which is about a 2-hour drive from me. Or if they went to Raleigh, that would be about a 2-hour drive. But I don't think they'd come there. They'd probably come to Charlotte, if anything, or Atlanta. But if they came to someplace like Washington, D.C., I would make the trek. Anything I get to in less than 2 hours, I would do it. I'm not going to drive 6 or 7 hours, but I would drive 2 hours. So what I was saying earlier, and when I was doing a couple of the last couple of baseball games, I had been using this tray right here for the rolls instead of the dice tower. So I'm going to try to keep that in practice again. Let's see if we can get this. Well, first of all, I need to back this up so you can see all the whole thing. I had it closed in or close up there. So let's back this thing up here and get everything where we might want it to be. I don't think you really don't need to see D minus. If you're in D minus, you're in trouble anyway. All right, so this is what we have, and I've got our little token here, and we've got the 2d6s we need plus the decider die in case there is a tie. We will have a roll off on the decider die if there is a tie for one of those positions. And we go to this part of the rules, and we're going to draw or roll these numbers out and see if we get top golfers, draw golfers, or both. And if they get this little symbol, that means they are going to have a chance to roll on the game golfer issues and perks chart as well. So we'll keep an eye out for that. Oh, cool. Well, if you're in Pennsylvania, I wonder how far you are away from Lemoyne, Pennsylvania, where Giovanni's Tailor Shop is. Okay, I've got my little tokens here to mark people that get perks, or that will roll in the perk chart, I should say. All right. Oh, Wisconsin. I'm sorry. I didn't know there was an Altoona, Wisconsin. I thought there was Altoona. I knew about Altoona, Pennsylvania. That makes sense because Eau Claire is Wisconsin. I didn't even read that. So are you a Badger fan? Are you a UW Badger fan? Or are you a something else fan, or don't care about college sports? I know that's in Madison, I think, if I'm not mistaken. All right. So I think we've got everything in play, and we're going to roll off of these 8 stacks and get our 12 top qualifiers. Western Michigan, the Broncos. I know them very well. All right. So we're going to have our little chart here, and we're going to roll in the first stack and see what happens. We get a 44, and a 44 says all golfers contend with B+. Wow. So right off the bat, they all go to whoever they are, they're all B+. It doesn't matter. So all 7 of these guys are going to be B+. That's Harris English, Lucas Glover, Mark Hubbard, Ashke Batia, Max Gracerman, Mackenzie Hughes, Tom Hoke, Victor Hofflin, and Billy Horschel. They're all B+, which means they could come in late to contend, but they're not going to be in the original top 12. Hello, Mr. RJL. All right, here is the next roll. We get a 63, and that is, I'm sorry, a 36. I don't know why I say 63. 36, top golfer contends with A-. So the top golfer in this group will contend with A-. Top golfer right now is Justin Thomas at a 1C, but McIlroy beats him out with a 1B. And I don't think anybody else is going to be able to touch that. Nope. So McIlroy contends with an A- as the top golfer. And then it says low golfer finishes D-. So the low golfer out of all these guys is Austin Eckroat at 7B. So is Pavone. He's both 7B. So we will have a roll-off to see who the worst golfer is. Dot? No. If he gets the dot, he's a D-. Yep. So Pavone is the D-. Eckroat will go in with the rest of his compadres over here. And the rest of the grouping will finish with C-. That's not good. Justin Thomas, a bad tournament for him to be C-. Sunjay M, JT Poston, Max Homa, Ricky Fowler, Adam Hadwin, and Eckroat all in the C- category. So much for their jaunts in this tournament. Hello, Captain Carl. Next up, we get a 14, and that is top golfer contends with an A. Still haven't got any of the perks yet. Top golfer contends with A. Everybody else finishes with C. So the top golfer will contend with an A. Top golfer of this group. Wyndham Clark is a 4C. JJ Spahn's a 2A, so he's got the initial lead, unless somebody beats him out. Doesn't look like anybody will. Nope, they won't. So JJ Spawn contends with an A, and everybody else finishes with a C. So Wyndham Clark, Echeverria, Keegan Bradley, Minwoo Lee, Davis Thompson, Eric Cole, Gary Woodland, and Stephen Yeager all contend with a C, which means they really don't contend. All right. Final grouping of the top shelf. We get a 13. 13 says draw golfer contends with an asterisk here. So the draw golfer, and this time I won't take the top one. I'm just going to take one off in a random way. Don't necessarily have to always take the one that's on top. We can mix it around a bit. And we're going to take this guy right here. Tommy Fleetwood is the draw golfer. So Tommy Fleetwood contends with A+, and he gets a perk. So right now he is at least tied for the lead going into the fourth round, Tommy Fleetwood. Top golfer contends with an A-. So the top golfer remaining contends with A-. Do we have anybody that let's see, Henley's a 1B. Young is a 1C in the third round, but 1B still beats him out. So Henley will contend with an A-. Will Henley. And everybody else finishes with C+. So Pendrith, Kim, Dunlap, Bezen-Houghton, Morikawa, Zalatoris, and Cam Young all contend with a C+. Now we go to the second section of cards. That's a 23. Draw golfer contends with an A. So again, we're going to use a draw golfer, but it's not going to be the one on top. I'm just going to pick somebody randomly in this mix. Draw golfer contends with an A. We'll take this guy right here. It's Sam Stevens. So Sam Stevens is an A. Let's see here. Others contend with B+. So B+ is going to be Adam Scott, Tom Kim, Hideki Matsuyama, Patrick Cantlay, Daniel Berger, Robert McIntyre, Jordan Spieth, and Lucas List. They all will be in the B+ category, so it's possible they can make a late charge. Go to the next grouping. 56. 56, draw golfer contends with A-. Draw golfer contends with an A-. Who is the draw golfer in this one? It is going to be this guy right here. If I can pull him out, there he is. He will contend with an A-, and that's going to be, I don't know how to pronounce the first name, but it's Thigala is the last name. He contends with an A-. No perk. Everybody else finishes with a D. That's bad. So Seamus Power, Andrew Novak, Ben Griffin, Jason Day, Thomas Dietrich, Kevin Yu, Denny McCarthy, and Maverick McNeely all have bad tournaments, finishing with D. Not a good sign there. Two groups left, and we don't nearly have 12 here, so we're going to be going to our B+ to fill the gap if need be. Whoa. I'm doing this left-handed because my right hand is bothering me, and I missed the tray completely. That was pretty bad. And the dice tray is kind of loud, so that noise from the dice tray has been bothering me, so that's why I'm going to this felt thing. So here we go. We got a 13 again. Draw golfer contends with an A+ and gets a perk. So draw golfer will tie Fleetwood and get a perk. And we'll see who the draw golfer is. And that's going to be this guy right there. Draw golfer will be Aaron Rye. I think he's the guy that just won the PGA wearing I think he wears 2 golf gloves when he plays. I think that's the guy I'm thinking of. But he contends with an A+, and he also gets a perk. I believe that's the guy I'm thinking of, but I could be wrong, but I think that's who I'm thinking of. 13. Top golfer contends with A-. So the top golfer, Scotty Scheffler, most likely will be that top golfer. I don't see anybody beating him out. Nope, they won't. So A- for Scotty Scheffler. And then the others finish with C+. That's Cam Davis, Nick Taylor, Shane Lowry, Tony Finau, Young Hun An, Patrick Rogers, and the guy who won it in real world, Ludwig Oberg. He has a bad time of it and finishes with a C+. So Oberg not going to be able to repeat history. All right, here is the last one, last grouping. We get a 16. Draw golfer contends with A- and gets a perk. So we get another third guy with a perk, but the draw golfer gets an A-. So they'll be right, be right here with Scheffler and company. Who is the draw golfer going to be? It's going to be this guy, right? Well, he fell out. I'll use him. How about that? I was going to pick somebody else, but this one fell out, so we'll go with it. And it's Sam Burns. So Sam Burns, and he gets to roll for a perk or a problem, whichever the case may be. 16, it says top golfer contends with an A. So the top golfer will go right here. And who's left? Justin Rose is a 2C. Right now, Sepp Straka is a 2B. So he beats out everybody else. But Corey Connors is a 2A. So he beat him out at the last minute. So that means that everybody else finishes with D+. So Sepp Straka, Justin Rose, however you say that guy's name, Michael Kim, Jake Knapp, Fitzpatrick, and Harmon all finished D+. So what do we have here? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We need 2 more guys to contend because we only have 10. So instead of doing it randomly, I'm going to take the guys with the best rating and put them in there. So right now we're looking at anybody with 1 or a 2. If you're a 1 or a 2, you have a chance. Matsuyama. But Matsuyama is a 5 in the third round, so he's not a 2. Patrick Cantlay is a 2. Robert McIntyre is a 2. So McIntyre is going to make it as a B+. He will make it as a B+. Now we got to figure out between Glover and Cantlay because they are tied. And let's make sure I got my numbers right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yep, we need that there for the 12. So we go to the side or die. Lucas Glover, does he get in? Dot says yes. No, he does not. So if Patrick Cantlay gets the dot, he gets in. He does. So Patrick Cantlay gets in with the contends with a B+, and Glover goes back to where he might contend late. So there are the 12 golfers that will contend on Sunday. Well, in my case, it'll be Saturday night, but you know what I mean. So let's figure out what our scoring is going to be. And one thing I forgot to do, shame on me, but I forgot to get the winning score from the 2025 Genesis Open. I got the field, but I didn't get the final score. So let me do that because that's going to dictate where we start from. So let's see what this comes up with. I know Ludwig Oberg won the tournament. Let's see, 12 under. Was the winning score, but what is the par? Or here a total. See if we can get a total here. Let's see. 276 was the winning score, according to what I'm looking at. So 276 is the winning score. So we're going to be in this section right here. And we're going to roll the decider die to figure out what scoring we have. So my decider die back out. All right, we're going to start with Mick Fleetwood. Mick Fleetwood either is going to be a 205 or a 206, depending on the dot. Same with Rye. So Fleetwood is going to be a 206. Let's see if Rye, if he gets the shot, he will be the leader going into the 4th round. And he is. So Rye is going to be a 205. 205. And 206 belongs to Mick Fleetwood. .205 and 206. All right, now we're going to our A golfers, and that's either 207 or 208. So we'll start with JJ Spawn. He gets 208. Go to Stevens. He gets 208. We go to Connors. He gets all of them get 208. So they're all going to be 3 shots back. They are tied for 3rd. 3 shots back. So we have Spawn. Spawn will be in the final group with Fleetwood and Rye. And then we have Stevens and Connors. They are all at 208. Now we go to the A minuses. A minuses are going to be 209 or 210. We start with Rory McIlroy. He's a 210. Russell Henley. He's a 210. Thigala. He's a 209. So Thigala is a 209. 4 shots back. In 6th position. Scheffler. He's a 209. So we got a tie for 6th. So Scheffler starts 4 shots back. And then Sam Burns, he's also a 209. So we have a 3-way tie for 6th. 4 shots back. Then we got McIntyre and Cantley. Who am I missing? No, I didn't do the other guys that didn't make it. McIlroy's a 210. 5 shots back. And Henley, same thing, 210. 5 shots back. So we have a tie. Let's see, 6, 7, 8, tie for 9th. And then Thigala is the same way. No, Thigala got 209. My bad. He already got the 209. All right, so the last 2 are McIntyre and Cantlay, and they will have 211, so they can be 6 shots back because you can't be more than 6 shots back. So McIntyre will be tied for 11th with Patrick Cantlay at 6 shots back. And now we fill in. We will now fill in. Move this stuff out of the way. We fill in the leaderboard or the groupings. So Rye, Fleetwood, and Spawn will be in the final group, final threesome. Next threesome will be Stevens, Connors, and Thigala. The next grouping will be Scheffler, Burns, and McIlroy. So how about that to get Scheffler and McIlroy in the same group? And then we have Henley, McIntyre, and Cantlay in the first group. All right, so last thing remaining to do is the perks for the 3 guys that got the perks. So we're going to roll for that with the black and white die. And that's going to be on this section where the black die tells you what number we're under and the white die tells you what row within that number. And I'm going to start with Mick Fleetwood. Well, actually, I'm going to start with Rye because he is actually the leader. So we're going to start with Rye. And we get a 41, a 4 and a 1. So he gains the sunny quality. So Rye will be sunny in this tournament. He will be sunny. Now we'll check Fleetwood. 22, 2 and a 2. He's going to be stormy. So Fleetwood's going to be stormy. Neither one until further notice. So I'm not worried about further notices. And last but not least, Sam Burns. 6 and a 2. He's also going to be stormy. So we got 2 stormy golfers and 1 sunny golfer. Everybody else is not affected. Nobody starts with any red chips. Nobody starts with any blue chips. It's all laid out. And now I will put the B pluses. There are no B golfers or B minuses, but the B pluses I will put to the side because they can contend. The other golfers I'm going to keep in their letter grade for scoring purposes for the points lead, for the FedEx Cup points. And now we will place the golfers where they belong. Well, we know Patrick Cantlay and McIntyre are 6 shots back, just by the virtue of them being B pluses. 5 shots back is going to be McIlroy and Henley. They are 5 shots back. 4 shots back, we've got Thigala, Scheffler, and Burns. They're all 4 shots back. Spawn, Connors, and Stevens are 3 shots back. And Fleetwood is 1 shot back. So that is the way it sets up for Sunday. Well, in our case, Saturday night. But you know what I mean, the final round. That's how it sets up for the final round. And we do have B-plus golfers standing by as well. And there is your scorecard with the 4 threesomes and their scores. And Burns is stormy, Rye is sunny, and Fleetwood is stormy. Those are the only situations. I'm going to try 8 o'clock, Ben, just like tonight. I'm going to shoot for 8 p.m. Eastern. It may get there maybe a few minutes after, maybe a few minutes before, but I'm going to generally try 8. But what I'll do in between that time, the reason why I'm doing this tonight is I want to have a day in between so I can play the front 9 for all these golfers. And we're going to get these golfers up to where the first group plays the 13th hole, which means the leader group is starting their back 9, and that's where I'll pick it up on Saturday night. Offline, I will play this. And as you can see what we got right now, there's a good chance that some of these golfers could fall off the leaderboard out of contention because some of these guys play 3 or 4 holes before the leader does. And if they hit a couple bogeys, they're out of there. They fall more than 7 shots, they're gone. Then again, they can make a charge. You never know. But that's the way it is right now. You can see how it is sitting there at the moment. And you're so inclined to study that or whatever, and then come Saturday night when the back 9 broadcast begins, you can see where those guys move to. I imagine at least 2 or 3 or 4 of these guys will be out of contention by then. So I'll probably only be fully rolling maybe 7 or 8 golfers by the time we get to the back 9. But that's just the way it goes. So there you have it. The real winner, Ludwig Åberg, fell back, had a bad tournament, so he's not in the top 12. But there are a couple of good names in there. Scotty Scheffler and Rory McIlroy. Tommy Fleetwood won I believe he won the PGA Championship, the whole point thing last year. So he's a big name, obviously. J.J. Spaun won the U.S. Open. And Rye just won this year's PGA. So it's a lot of good names there. And McIntyre, I believe he was in contention last week and did very well for himself. So some decent names there. The only guy, and I've heard of Thigala. He's not rated very well, but I've heard of the name. Patrick Cantlay has also been up there a lot. Don't know that much about Sam Stevens or Corey Connors. Those are 2 guys I'm not really that familiar with. I know Russell Henley. I know the rest of them. I just don't know these two guys. Those are guys I'll have to figure it out. So anyway, that's it. That's all I got. And like I said, normally I would have done round 1 and 2 if we're starting with like 100 and some golfers, but we're only starting with 72 because I'm doing this as played. I only pick out the golfers that physically made the trip to this tournament. Whether they got cut or not is irrelevant. Did they physically make the trip and try to enter? If they entered the tournament and were physically there, I pulled their card. If they decided to skip the tournament, I did not include them. That's why it's we didn't have a cut because we were already at 72, and that's kind of what the number they want you to be at. So that's going to do it from here. Tomorrow morning, if you're so inclined, at roughly 9 a.m. Eastern, will be the Friday game for the 1987 American League replay. It'll be the Toronto Blue Jays and the Milwaukee Brewers from Milwaukee. It'll be Teddy Higuera for the Brewers and Dave Stieb for the Blue Jays. And then on Saturday, it'll be Fall Classic 1979 for the NBC Game of the Week. Will be in Minneapolis, in the Minnesota, for the Boston Red Sox and the Minnesota Twins. That'll be on Saturday, roughly at noon Eastern. And then Sunday at some point, I don't know what time, I'll upload the recording of Sunday Basic Sunday in 1962 Strat-O-Matic, and that'll finish out the week. So that'll do it from here. I hope you all have a great rest of your evening. I know you're looking forward to the weekend, which is coming up close, so hang tight for that. Until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.